This is a journey into the architecture of the soul, a deep exploration of the habits that forge not merely resilience, but true emotional sovereignty. We seek the kind of strength that is rooted so profoundly that no external storm can uproot it. Drawing extensively from the psychological insights of Carl Jung, particularly his work on individuation, the shadow, and the self, we will uncover the 11 core practices necessary to become a woman who is not just enduring, but truly powerful. Let us first dismiss the common misconception. Emotional strength is not the absence of feeling, nor is it a cold, unyielding rigidity. It is, in fact, the courageous capacity to feel everything deeply, grief, joy, anger, and tenderness, yet remain anchored and conscious amidst the storm. It is the wisdom to transform vulnerability into power and pain into purpose. Jung understood that the ego's desire for control must surrender to the soul's need for wholeness. The woman who achieves this does not shout her strength. She simply radiates a quiet, magnetic calm that speaks volumes. Habit 1. Embrace authentic selfhood, the revolution of being real. The first habit, and perhaps the most revolutionary, is the commitment to authentic selfhood. To be authentic means to shed the masks, the personas we adopt to please parents, partners, or society. The emotionally strong woman undertakes this arduous task of confronting who she thinks she should be versus who she actually is. This is the heart of the Jungian process of individuation, the path of becoming the single, unique being you are meant to be, separate from the collective. Authenticity is not a destination, it is a daily discipline. It means aligning your internal experience, your values, your dreams, your fears, with your external expression. When you operate from this place of truth, the need for external validation withers. You stop adjusting your light to accommodate the dimness of others. This habit creates an unshakable foundation because your self-worth is no longer negotiated based on acceptance or rejection. It is inherent. You recognize that your imperfections are not flaws to be corrected, but unique patterns to be embraced. Habit 2. Master your inner center, the art of non-reaction. The second habit is the ability to master your inner center. Life guarantees chaos, emotional volatility, manipulation, unforeseen setbacks. These are the environmental stressors that test our roots. The strong woman learns to breathe, observe, and deliberately choose her response rather than falling victim to an immediate, reflexive reaction. This mastery is achieved by cultivating a spaciousness between the stimulus and the response. It is a profound application of Jung's insight that what irritates us about others often serves as a mirror to aspects of ourselves we have yet to integrate. Every intense reaction becomes an opportunity for deep self-inquiry. What part of me feels threatened by this? What unresolved pain is this situation triggering? By refusing to be swept away by external drama, she preserves her most sacred resource, her internal peace. This habit transforms her from a subject of circumstance into the conscious arbiter of her emotional life. She understands that power lies not in controlling the world outside, but in maintaining the fortress within. Habit 3. Practice conscious release, letting go without loss of love. The third habit is the difficult yet liberating practice of conscious release. This is the sophisticated process of knowing when to hold on and when to let go, be it a relationship, an expectation, a goal, or a version of the self. To let go is not defeat. It is an act of supreme trust in the flow of life. The strong woman recognizes that true love does not coerce or cling. She does not plead for attention or pursue that which has consciously chosen to depart from her orbit. She understands that attachment to the finished or the failing immobilizes the soul. By releasing what is no longer meant for her, she creates a vacuum for what is aligned with her highest good. This is where the Jungian concept of synchronicity often manifests, those meaningful coincidences that occur when the inner world is aligned with the outer. The woman who consciously releases aligns herself with this flow, knowing that her peace is worth more than any story she needs to push forward. Letting go is a profound, active choice that affirms belief in a destiny greater than her own control. Habit 4. Cultivate solitude as a source of power, the sacred container. The fourth habit is the deliberate cultivation of solitude. In a culture that fears silence and equates being alone with being lonely, the strong woman reclaims solitude as a source of strength. Jung wisely noted that the person who looks inside wakes up. This awakening occurs only in the deep silence that is free from external noise and demands. Solitude is the laboratory of self-knowledge. It is where you hear your true emotions, understand your subtle needs, and attend to the slow, deep work of healing wounds you may not even know were open. She learns to be her own best company, removing the dependency on others to feel complete. Solitude transforms from an absence into a profound presence, the presence of the self. This mastery means that love, when it arrives, is a choice of abundance, not a necessity of lack. Habit 5. Establish boundaries without guilt. Honoring the sacred energy. The fifth habit is the unwavering commitment to establish boundaries without guilt. The woman who is strong understands that she cannot save everyone, nor should she be perpetually available. Her energy is a sacred resource to be guarded. She learns to deploy the word no firmly, gently, and without obligation to explain. This is the ultimate act of self-love and self-respect. Boundaries are not walls designed to keep others out. They are fences designed to protect one's inner garden. As Jung alluded, the boundaries of the soul are defined by what you allow to steal your peace. A woman who protects her peace becomes immune to emotional manipulation. This habit requires shedding the societal conditioning that equates goodness with self-sacrifice. She prioritizes her well-being over external approval, recognizing that she can only give authentically from a full cup. Habit 6. Integrate the shadow. Transforming darkness into wisdom. The sixth habit dives into the most complex terrain of the psyche, integrating the shadow. The shadow encompasses the repressed parts of our personality, our envy, selfish drives, deep-seated resentments, and unrecognized creative potential. What is not recognized by the conscious mind dominates the personality from the unconscious. The strong woman undertakes the courageous work of looking at her shadow directly. She does not feel shame. She practices curiosity. She integrates these parts because she knows that behind every dark impulse lies untapped power waiting to be acknowledged and harnessed for good. The shadow is not an enemy, but a teacher. By embracing her totality, the light and the dark, she liberates herself from the exhausting effort of pretense. This profound internal honesty is where true freedom and psychological wholeness are born. Habit 7. Select your circle with wisdom, the ecology of the soul. Jung believed that people meet not by chance, but when their souls are ready. The emotionally strong woman does not allow just anyone into her intimate space. She is discerning. She moves away from superficial connections and gravitates towards souls that inspire, lift, and align with her purpose. This is the principle of energetic ecology. If you surround yourself with noise, you disconnect. If you surround yourself with calm, you flourish. She is fearless in her ability to create distance from relationships that require her to shrink or vibrate at a lower frequency. She understands that she cannot sustainably pour into something that is fundamentally unwilling to grow. This wise discernment is a necessary act of protection for her evolving self. Habit 8. Trust the voice of intuition, the language of the self. The 8th habit is the full restoration of faith in the self through trusting the voice of intuition. Intuition is the unconscious speaking, a primal wisdom that modern society often devalues in favor of pure logic. Many women are conditioned to doubt their gut feelings, fearing error or irrationality. The strong woman, however, diligently rebuilds this sacred connection. She understands that the inexplicable sense in her chest, the sudden knowing, is the infallible guidance of her deeper self. She no longer needs endless external proof to validate her internal signal. If a person or situation does not feel right, if her energy does not harmonize, she trusts that signal above all else. Ignoring intuition is a betrayal of the self. Following it is an alignment with the universe that makes synchronicity and ease possible. Habit 9. Welcome change as renewal, the illusion of control. The 9th habit is the profound recognition that allows her to welcome change as renewal. The human tendency is to resist what is inevitable. The strong woman recognizes the futility in clinging to how things should be. She understands that permanence is an illusion and cycles must turn. Instead of resisting, she learns to flow. She sees change not as a disaster, but as a symbolic death that clears the ground for a greater becoming. She has symbolically died many times, leaving behind versions of herself that no longer serve. Each difficult ending, each loss, becomes an initiation. By surrendering the illusion of control, she finds genuine power. She shifts her question from "why me?" to "what is this experience preparing me for?" This reframing transforms tragedy into transcendence. Habit 10. Practice conscious gratitude, the alchemical act. The 10th habit is the profound shift in perspective achieved through conscious gratitude. This practice transcends simple thankfulness for the pleasant aspects of life. It is the ability to acknowledge the darkness, the depression, the failure, the wound, and still find the inherent wisdom within it. Jung once described depression as a woman dressed in black. We must invite her to the table and listen to what she has to say. The strong woman finds gratitude for the difficult teachers. She recognizes that every wound was an instructor, every painful parting a redirection. Gratitude is a form of spiritual alchemy. By consciously giving thanks even for the painful past, she transcends the energy of suffering. She shifts her frequency from the vibration of lack to the vibration of inner abundance, attracting alignment rather than conflict. Habit 11. Choose self-love as a daily practice, the ultimate union. The final and most crucial habit is the active choice of self-love as a daily practice. This is the ultimate achievement of the individuation process, the full union with the self. The strong woman lives awakened, knowing she is already whole and complete. She does not wait for an external figure to complete her. She seeks love from a place of fullness, not need. Self-love is expressed through actions, not just affirmation. It means setting aside time for rest, fueling the body with respect, and honoring one's emotional needs. It is the commitment to forgive herself, stop comparing herself to others, and refuse the demand for perfection. In this honest self-acceptance, she finds her authentic, inimitable beauty. When a woman truly loves herself, her energy becomes impossible to ignore. She does not need to chase anything, not recognition, not status, not love, because what is meant for her is drawn to the high frequency of her self-sufficiency. This deep inner peace, rooted in the love of the self, is the ultimate form of power. Conclusion: the radiance of sovereignty. The emotionally resilient woman is, ultimately, a woman at peace. She is so deeply known to herself that nothing external can manipulate her. She trusts her own path so absolutely that she requires no external validation. She has healed her fragmentation and achieved inner coherence. Her strength is not measured by how many battles she has won, but by how many times she has chosen to love without losing herself, to trust without being naive, and to let go without becoming bitter. This quiet sovereignty is contagious. She does not have to preach. She simply radiates a light that inspires and transforms her environment. Remember, this journey is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming whole. It requires patience, deep consciousness, and unwavering faith. Trust the process. Every struggle you face is simply preparing you to carry the magnificent life you are destined to live. The greatest power is found not in what you achieve, but in the peaceful, authentic, and sovereign woman you choose to become, day after day.